Hey everyone, me Kevin here. A 36-minute phone call between Pelosi and Mnuchin happened yesterday. Two big actions from the administration over the last couple days, and unemployment data that disappoints. We'll also talk about a shift in stocks and a real estate update. Multiple updates today, so let's get right into them. By the way, I received so many emails from y'all asking for bundles for the programs linked down below that coupon code is technically still active, but it's only because I'm trying to get through the emails and it's just me. Anyway, my email is kevin@mekevin.com, so if you still want a bundle, you're welcome to email me. All right, let's keep moving on. First, Democrats have been demanding eviction protections and rental assistance as part of another stimulus bill, while Republicans are slowly enacting parts that are holding up the stimulus bill in negotiations themselves. Yesterday, we heard that residential eviction protections have been ordered through the CDC through the end of the year for single filers making no more than $99,000 or dual filers making no more than $198,000. Now, many of you then asked in the comments, is this only for federally backed loans, which is the reference to, well, mortgage forbearance only applies to federally backed loans. And the answer to this is no. This is a residential eviction protection, and it protects all residential properties. This is very good for tenants, obviously. All residential properties include any house, any building, aka a unit or a condo in an apartment building within that building, a mobile home. It could even be land that a mobile home sits on. All of those are considered residential properties. And so you would qualify for eviction protections if you occupy one of those, unless, of course, you're outside the income criteria. Now, like the Trump administration or not, you've got to give them credit here. When the executive order came through, a lot of us were throwing up our hands going, this eviction protection is worthless. This, on the other hand, from the CDC, is a very blunt move, and it's really what tenants need right now. Obviously, we do still need rental assistance to help tenants who are behind catch up. And in the meantime, obviously, this does hurt landlords who otherwise should take mortgage forbearance if they can. It does kick the can down the road. So there is still work to be done. We still need rental assistance to catch people up. But the reality is this is a very good step in sort of delaying the eviction crisis we might have otherwise seen much sooner. So this is really just part one. Just a heads up, hotels, motels, and temporary stay homes like guest homes for Airbnb are not protected by these eviction protections. However, I mean, those occupants from the get-go don't have the same rights as tenants or even squatters anyway, so that's okay. In another swift action by the administration, kind of again picking apart what Democrats have been negotiating for and just basically doing it, you gotta give the Trump administration credit for this, and I'm all about giving credit where credit's due. The Department of Agriculture just announced it's extending and expanding its food assistance program to help provide millions of children free meals during the pandemic. Now, this is usually a program that's used exclusively in the summertime, but it will now be extended through the rest of the year. This has been something that Democrats have been clamoring for as part of a stimulus package, and now it's just implemented. The program is known as the Summer Food Service Program, and it's for children 18 and younger. Basically, schools, camps, faith-based organizations, and other nonprofits are distributors of food in areas throughout the country, and they get reimbursed by the USDA. And honestly, it breaks my heart to hear that kids, having two kids might go hungry. That is why I did the food fundraiser a few months back. If you remember, we had the fundraiser for a while for No Hungry Children, and it just breaks my heart. So if you are a parent or guardian looking for the Summer Food Service Program near you, you can use the link below for their mapping program, or you could text Summer Meals to 97779 or call 1-866-348-6479. So that's always tough to talk about, to think about hungry children. On Mnuchin and Pelosi, yesterday Steve Mnuchin stated we had an agreement on stimulus checks and would call Nancy Pelosi after his testimony, which he did. Nancy Pelosi released a statement that Steve Mnuchin and her had a 36-minute phone call. So far from this call, we know that Nancy Pelosi expressed skepticism that if we pass one bill now, there could maybe not be other bills. And that's because Mitch McConnell said, quote, "There's only going to be one bill." That's a Nancy Pelosi quote of Mitch McConnell. And so Nancy Pelosi also then questioned Republicans' seriousness about this pandemic and asked that aren't working families worth the investment, especially when the Fed has urged us to spend money. Now, in fairness, I have to say, and this isn't me taking sides, it just is what it is, the current administration, they've been following through on quite a few things. They've followed through on the student loan pause in payments, the deferment of payments through the rest of the year. Now we've got food for children for the rest of the year. That's phenomenal and it's needed. Now we've got eviction protections through the rest of the year. That's needed. Of course, we still need, some form of rental assistance to help deal with the backlog because tenants still owe the money. And landlords should take mortgage forbearance. Honestly, I think everybody should take mortgage forbearance. There's enough uncertainty. I think everybody should honestly take it. But anyway, I've said that too many times now. What's interesting here is right now it also looks like Mnuchin has stepped back into the fight, taking over from Mark Meadows again. In fact, this morning, Representative Bill Foster said that Mark Meadows is, quote, the difficulty in the talks, and that maybe Mnuchin is more reasonable and maybe more capable of piercing the sort of Nancy Pelosi negotiation holdup right now. And obviously, I don't want to just blame one side. Both sides are partially to blame here. Representative Bill Foster says, quote, I served with him, talking about Mark Meadows, for many years in the U.S. House, and he was a thorn in the side of Paul Ryan and just everyone who tried to deal with him. He refused to negotiate as a matter of ideological principle, he said in an interview with MSNBC. He also said, quote, I'm not personally surprised that we were able to come up with a compromise when Speaker Pelosi and Mnuchin were in charge. That was back for the CARES Act. But I'm not surprised at all that we failed when you add Mark Meadows into the mix. The president is not being served well by using Mark Meadows as an interface to Congress. Pretty harsh words there from Bill. Anyway, this also comes after Mark Meadows says that, quote, I had a conversation with Speaker Pelosi, and even on her $2.2 trillion counteroffer, she can't tell the American people nor me what's in that. That was what we had reported yesterday. Anyway, more details of this call still remain to be seen. We haven't heard Mnuchin's side of how this call went, though I will say Nancy Pelosi's statement was actually much less aggressive than it has been in the past. Now, I'm not trying to mince words here and go, she's sounding less aggressive. It just is the feeling I'm seeing here. As the election draws near, it's also obvious that the political conventions are over. We're coming closer to the election, and these next few weeks are very likely to pressure both sides into a deal. We continue to move closer and closer. On to more news. Donald Trump says we are in a super V recovery. Federal Reserve President Barkin of the Bank of Richmond says the labor market is recovering slower than expected, and this is not good. The ADP National Employment Report released today indicates we only added 428,000 jobs in August, and this is roughly half of what was expected. This might mean that Friday, when the official new unemployment rate comes out, we may be a bit disappointed. However, this may also encourage more or prompter stimulus action. In real estate, homebuyer demand is up 28% from last year, and refinances are up 40%. In stocks, Rocket Mortgage, Purple, Dave & Buster's, and Peloton are all taking off today. All four are stocks I hold around 2 to 4% of my portfolio. Tesla is down, though, another about 4.5% today, reiterating that trend reversal I talked about in my video yesterday. You could check that video out. I'll link it down below. That is a video where I also revealed some of my Tesla price targets, although I do expect it's quite possible this Tesla downtrend may continue. In fact, the latest update is that Tesla is presently down almost 11%. There it is, 11% down now, followed by Zoom. We've got Nikola. Lemonade has just been doing very poorly over the last 3 weeks, and DocuSign pulling off highs along with Zoom, although both of those ran up substantially yesterday. There you have it, folks. Thank you so much for watching this update. If you like these sorts of updates and my